The 60 developers are the developers we shortlisted from all over India. The 60 developers is the number of developers to whom we gave away free space. We created this program called Indy 40. Most of the leadership, state leadership was here. The IIT, IIIT, NITs, can they have some sort of gaming electives? I think that was bad judgment from our end. We didn't think through that this would hurt anybody's feelings. If we want to create $100 billion value in India, if we need to be a gaming superpower, the biggest problem we need to solve is...
Hello guys, today we are with Sridhar from Chennai and we're talking to him here at IGDC 2025. Let's start with this year. After so many years, the 17th edition of IGDC is in Chennai for the first time. So how has it changed the sentiments of developers? What new things have we seen on the floor this year?
First of all, as you would have seen, it's a massive space, right? So there's a lot of energy. So Hyderabad, where we used to do HICC, we kind of outgrew that space. So we needed a bigger space, and so we started looking around, and thankfully we found this, and the state government here has been very proactive. So we moving here has been amazing because most of the leadership, state leadership was here, spending a lot of time with developers, and the positive change was immediately they're talking about talent development, they're talking about incubators, which is what's our focus is, right?
So this year Chennai announced the Vision 2035. Can you tell us more about it?
The way we looked at it is with the new act coming up from the government, which has at last separated RMG from conventional video games, which is something industry has been asking for a while. Now with that in place, the government is seriously looking at how do we promote this industry. Now that there is no stigma associated with it, how do we promote it? So this is the right time we felt we guide the government on what needs to be done. If we need to be a gaming superpower or game development superpower, there are a few things the government needs to do. The biggest problem we need to solve is shortage of skilled talent. We just don't have enough great game developers. Because we have highest number of mobile gamers are here, you can see Google everywhere, you can see, some of the big mobile platforms are here talking to game developers, trying to figure out what they can do for them. So we want government to seriously look at it, and we provided a couple of initiatives or policies they can they can take up, like something as simple as every IIT, IIIT, NITs, can they have some sort of gaming electives, right? How do we make that happen, right? Because that itself, if we can get our smartest people in India can be exposed to video game development, some of them might actually choose to become game developers, right? So we have some ideas which we present to the government. We're saying, hey, if we do this, maybe we can attract some of the smartest people. Apart from that, we also want government to seriously look at how do we incubate more indies in India, more people focused on PC games or console games, versus mobile games, which is more, you could call it commercial, where there's a lot more product is involved versus, innovation, which seem to be happening only right now, only in PC. So we want the government to look at them differently. So we came up with a couple of ideas saying, hey, we need a large incubator, national level incubator, focused only on PC console game developers, and encourage them, give them grants, give them whatever they need, long-term policy framework around that, right? And then the second initiative is how do we create a mobile gaming accelerator, which is basically folks who know what they're doing, but right now to succeed in mobile gaming, you need growth funds, right? So can government get involved, provide some sort of rebates on your growth spend, right? Like the way Turkey does, like the way some of the other countries seem to be doing who are thriving in this space, right? So we have some initiatives there. So overall, nothing will happen immediately, we understand it, but we wanted to present that if we want to create $100 billion value in India in the coming 10 years, these are some of the things industry needs.
You have put a big $1 billion vision and a goal for the industry. But when a gamer sitting in, say, America or Japan sees the tag game made in India, what do you want the world to see India as, a producer of indie games or AAA games, or, just services that India has been doing a lot of great work, because we talk to a lot of people on the floor, and we know for the fact that these guys are providing services to the biggest publishers out there. They're not making something of their own. So when you see the India becoming superpower in gaming, what do you see India as an indie powerhouse, or as a maker of AAA games?
Now, what do we want the world to look at India as? As like any other country with the top creative people in the world, right? Like we want the world to look at like, oh, this is where the best game designers come from. This is where the best gaming programmers come from, or gaming, game artists come from, right? That would be our aspiration, So we fix the talent problem, we fix the incubation problem, and we think it's going to happen. We make it attractive because we want the top talent of the world to come here and build games. That's our goal. That's how we are going to learn, because we want our own growth to accelerate. The only way that's going to happen is if we are working with somebody who's been there and done that. So yeah.
What can we do to empower the developers to make such quality games where we don't even need to market it as an Indian game? Just like, oh, it's an amazing game that I need to play.
Exactly. Unlike movies and other, maybe there is a cultural element there. With games, there is none of that, right? So we want people to focus on competing globally. We want people to be able to be the best game in the world. I mean, just because I'm in India, I'm not going to play a subpar game. I have no reason to. When I have access to the best game in the world, my time is precious. I'm going to spend that on the best game, on best experience in the world, right? So as an Indian developer, you would never want to get any kind of special treatment just because you are in India, to get like Indian users, because, you should compete globally. And that's where associations like ours come in, the government comes in, where how do we empower them? How do we give them the skill set needed? And that's what our vision statement is about. What does the government need to do so that our talent gets the necessary skill set so that they could compete globally? So that's exactly what we are trying to do.
Absolutely. But don't you think accessibility is the problem where PC gamers are less in India? I mean, like, be it graphic cards being highly priced in India, be it, consoles not being readily available in India, being out of stock all the time, or the pricing being higher than the world. Even in fact, video games being, highly priced in India, and no regional support at all, no regional pricing at all. So these are the things that need to change before you need to create a PC gamer base, right? Mm-hmm. How do you think as Jedi or as the policymakers could help us with this?
That's a good point. To be honest, we haven't been thinking enough about that. And that's something we should be thinking, because you're right. There's a way to create that market by changing some of these policies. We haven't been thinking enough about it, but we will start thinking about it.
That's a great thing to hear. Also, this year, we've noticed that there were less developers on the floor showcasing. This year, only 60 developers here showcasing, which is less number than last year. Do you think somewhere the hike in pricing of booths at IGDC has caused this?
Not true. 60 developers is a very small number. 60 developers is the number of developers to whom we gave away free space. That's not the total number. It's literally in hundreds, right? The 60 developers are the developers we shortlisted from all over India, curated from hundreds of them, and said, hey, you guys need to get exposure. You need to meet publishers. You need to, get mentorship. So what we've done is we created this program called Indie 40, and then there is something called Women in Gaming, and there is a part of, again, Create India mission. All of them combined, we chose about 60 developers all over India and gave them free space. And they don't have to pay anything else, right? And gave them a space, bring your laptop, start showing it to people. And as part of that initiative, we put them through something called Mentor Cafe, which basically is they got to spend time with 6 experts in different domains, like somebody talking about growth, some one-on-one, somebody talking about how do you do PR and how do you launch your game, or somebody talking about how do you work with platforms, how do you work with publishers. So these were like one-on-one sessions done. We also did something called Design and Dialogue, where we put them in again in a very small 10-member group with international experts, so that they can just brainstorm on genre-specific ideas, like narrative games. How do you build? What are all the things you can do better? So there's a lot being done for the industry, and absolutely free. They won't charge even 1 rupee, right? So the others who didn't want a small booth or a small thing, they wanted a big booth, exclusive booth for themselves, which is great. You can have it, So what we did was we increased it by about 20%, right? Last year it was like about 1 lakh. Now it went up to about 1,20,000 or something like that. Which is again, most people who reached out saying, hey, can you give us a little bit of discount because this is too expensive? All of them were given those discounts. It's not like there was a heavy-handedness on that, right? Because we know some people cannot pay, which is fine. We are game developers. Why would we want any of them who cannot afford to do it? We have no reason to do it. So that's a very big misconception that there were only 60 developers. But then, as I said, we want people to know that we listen to you. And next time, if there is a real reason, genuine reason you can't pay something, just approach us. We're not going to bite. I mean, we're most of us are game developers, have struggled. So if there is something we can do, we will do.
That's great to hear. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is there has been a lot of chatter, a lot of backlash regarding the anthem, IGDC anthem, Jedi anthem, that was created using generative AI. The points that were raised is basically this conference, this IGDC as an entire thing, or Jedi as a association, is supposed to empower the artists in India, game developers in India, but artists in India in general, right? When we use generative AI, do you not think that we are taking away a little bit from the artist? And what is your overall perspective about using generative AI in general?
I think that was bad judgment from our end. We didn't think through that this would hurt anybody's feelings. So feedback taken, we have to be more careful, right? We totally understand that was probably something we should have thought through. So moving forward, obviously we'll do a better job on that element. Now, in terms of what I personally feel, I want to make it clear. We are Game Developer Association of India. We are a industry body which is interested in taking care of interests of businesses. We want people to build businesses. We want people to create employment. We want people to create wealth in this country. If you are not going to adopt AI for production, if you're not going to make it part of your your production pipeline on how you produce content, you're probably going to have a hard time in future. And we don't represent individual developer or an artist or a programmer or something. We represent businesses. And we want businesses to thrive. We want businesses to create wealth. We want businesses to create great, amazing content for global audience.
All right. So on a closing note, do you think IGDC has found a new home? Is Chennai gonna be it?
Yes, we think the government here has been very proactive. They have committed for us to be here for as long as we want to be here, right? And this space, we're in love with this space, right? This is something where we can scale to 12,000, 15,000 people without a problem, right? And this time, I mean, we were a little bit worried about the weather in Chennai. We were worried about, I mean, I'm sure you were all worried about weather in Chennai, but man, this was so pleasant, right? I think we found our home. So we'll see, in the coming months, we will get more clarity from the government. Once that happens, I think we'll let you guys know, obviously.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sridhar. It was great talking to you.
Thank you.